So, this is my WrestleMania 41 review of both night 1 and night 2. Honestly, I would say it was a roller coaster of a show. Overall, it is probably a 6 out of 10 show for me. Maybe 6.5, yeah, 6 out of 10 show for me because it overall it just didn't work. Like, first is that on night two, I can like predict when the match was gonna end. Like I could see, oh yeah, this is going to be the finish. Like it made sense, but it was like kind of tiring. Like how I was just able to like predict, oh yeah, oh she's gonna jump from there or he's gonna jump from there and everything. And two matches had the same finish also. Overall, I would say this show failed to deliver, but I think you have to give it to them. Like 70% it was WWE's fault, maybe 80, but 20 to 30% it was the crowd also. Many times they were silent when actual good things were happening on in matches which were properly built and involving people that are properly built, but they just chose to be quiet on that, and then they'll just start randomly getting into the match, then they'll be out, then they'll be in the match, and it was a very weird crowd. I would not advise them to go back there again. And up and down roller coaster, because you had like the LA versus Jacob Fatu match, which I think was fine, which I actually think felt like a mania match at least. Apart from that, night one was saved by the main event, because otherwise, like the New Day versus War Raiders, like it was a fine match. It felt like they were doing stuff. It's just that no one cared about it. Why didn't they put the SmackDown TLC match there? They could have easily put the New Day versus War Raiders on the Raw after Mania in a no holds barred match, because it doesn't make sense why the New Day, who lost because the War Raiders beat them up with chairs, are facing them in a rematch in a normal match. Just didn't it make sense, and it ended with New Day winning by cheating. So this means that this rivalry will still go on further. I think like WrestleMania is supposed to be the place where I think probably majority of the rivalries ended. Triple H does not see it like that, and I think it's fine. But some rivalries should end there. It shouldn't be like I like majority of the matches, the rivalries just don't end. Like they're just there to further stuff. WrestleMania is supposed to be the be all and end all. Like after that, you hit a refresh on your content. Like you do the draft, you let new people come into certain divisions, you scrape some people out from the existing divisions, clean stuff. The creative that has been stagnant, you try to write new stuff. It just feels like WrestleMania is no longer that, and I can agree with that in certain sections, but not the majority of the show. And if you look at night one, like El Grande Americano versus Ray Phoenix was a good match, but it could have been great if they had given them more than 7 minutes. Like they gave them 7 minutes. They should have given them like 15 minutes. It just feels that they didn't want to put Ray Phoenix in like the LWO stuff, but they were kind of forced to put him in there because Ray got injured. I think probably the angle would have been like a one-off, like that El Grande Americano probably would have beaten Rey Mysterio, then he would have gone on to face Ray Phoenix, and I don't think the LW would have been involved in that, because now that Ray is injured, Ray Phoenix lost to him. I do think Ray Phoenix is going to get involved more into that story, because also I don't know till when is the story going to go on, because I think probably the main conclusion is probably like Triple H said, they're going to do like a main roster Mexico PLE. So whenever that happens, I think the storyline ends there, with Ray probably unmasking El Grande Americano in a tag match or something. The thing is, I don't mind the gimmick. This gimmick has been working for Chad Gable, like sorry kayfabe, because he won a match. He got a singles match and he won a match. I think probably they're gonna drop the plans that they had with Ray Phoenix, like him going up against like the uh, the Legado del Fantasma and probably Andrade. I think they're gonna like push him into that El Grande Americano story much more. Probably gonna either draft American made from Raw to SmackDown or draft him from SmackDown to Raw. Apart from that, I really liked Charlotte versus Tiffany. It was a little bit sloppy, but I think it worked for them. The thing is, I felt when I was watching, because I was locked in into this match, that I was watching it intently. So I thought that the crowd was also watching it intently. But no, they were just bored of the match. But I think it was very good. I just didn't like because the whole match they worked on each other's knees, and the final 5 minutes didn't involve anything to do with their knees, and the finish also felt like, oh, she hit a splash, it's over. Like it should have been a little bit more dramatic. I'm just happy that Tiffany retained the title. Of course, she does need much more betterment in the ring. Also, Charlotte also like put her through the ringer. She was like, if I'm putting you over, which I never do, like I'm gonna make sure I give you some stiff punches. And she gave her, like she looked fucked up after the match. Like her head is swollen, like her teeth has been chipped, like she looked like hell. I just don't know what her next feud is, because the post match show it felt like Jade and Naomi are not really done. But what will be the first feud of Tiffany, like after Charlotte? Because eventually I think Charlotte is going to get reintroduced in the women's championship division and probably take the championship from her, because I don't think going into next Mania Tiffany is going to be the champion. I think Charlotte is going to be the champion going in there and probably like face Jade Cargill or someone. But I am kind of curious, like, what is Tiffany's first feud? I do think that they may go back to Tiffany versus Naya, because people should remember Tiffany has pinned Naya, but she has pinned her in a tag match, and Naya is still kinda owed a title match, because the match that they had it ended in disqualification, and she beat her ass in it after the match. So I do think they may go back to the Naya feud, because that is kind of like the most easy to do feud also, because you don't really have many people that she can feud with. Like she can feud with Naomi, but Naomi just lost. She can maybe probably have like a face versus face feud with Jade Cargill, and maybe they have a match like maybe the SmackDown before Backlash, or maybe at Backlash, and Naomi interferes there, kind of cost Jade Cargill the match inadvertently, and then you can continue the Jade and Naomi stuff again. But the thing is with Tiffany versus Jade is like I don't think Tiffany is quite ready to like marshal a match, to call a match, and Jade is too green, so I don't think that happens. The thing with Jade is like her perfect position should be like she should be the one to eventually like take the title off Chelsea Green. I get what they're trying to do with Zelina Vega, but I don't think the people care. Not that they have also not told the story in a good way. They have a lot of stuff that they could have done with Zelina, like bringing her past, like truly make her look like a fighting baby face, which she has proven that she can do that, but they have just not done that with her. Jade versus Naomi, I think, was a fine match. It was not like a great match. It had some moves in between, some sequences in between where you can see like, oh yeah, this is WrestleMania worthy. But it was still a pretty normal match. I like even this. If this had like many more minutes, this could have ended in a great match. Naomi could have given her like a great match. They just didn't get any time. I just don't know why. I know why, because they have to sell their advertisements. I get that you have to sell advertisements, but you can still give them time. Like you gave, eventually the next day, you gave every match a lot of time, and I would say like it hurt a few matches. Like kind of like giving Logan and AJ that much time, I think it hurt the show a lot. So you could have given that much time to Jade and Naomi too. The right person won, because it kind of makes sense, because Naomi does go that proceed with caution and all, but she is kind of a wimpy bitch. Like she does run away, and it kind of makes sense for Naomi to lose. She doesn't really lose anything because she's the maniac. She will do things again even if it means that she lost. Like she will cost Jade something. Like their feud is not over. Like I think this will continue further. And also the other stuff that happened on night one, like the opening match, Jay versus Gunther, like it was a weird experience for me. Like I didn't watch the match from the start, I watched some of it and I was like, what is happening? Like I just got a weird feeling, like what is happening? Like they're trying to like do sequences where it's like, they want to involve the crowd, but I'm like, I'm just not feeling it. And I don't think the crowd also felt it. And in the end, a weak ass looking sleeper hold Gunther tapped. I was also shocked that Gunther tapped. It kind of makes sense with the story, but the thing is, the way that they told the story was not good, and the second, the sleeper hold was also not good. So it was kind of like, it felt like Gunther was sandbagging Jay. Like, yeah, I'm anyways going to lose, so I don't care. So I also felt that Gunther really felt checked out in this match, and you can see that like he's not happy with the way that he's been booked. Like losing to Jay was not like big enough. Like having to tap to him, like especially when you're expecting to probably like go up against Seth Rollins or John Cena or someone at WrestleMania, then you get Jay Uso, like who is over with the crowd, but he's still like overdoing on the eat stuff, has not improved in ring at all. Like their match at Saturday night's main event was a banger. It wasn't a banger here. I just want to see like till when are they going to stretch this Jey Uso in. I do think now, after whatever has happened on night 2, I do think they're going to keep him as champion maybe till SummerSlam. Probably till SummerSlam he's going to be champion. Probably then Seth will take the title off him. I just don't know who Seth feuds with right now, apart from CM Punk, because Roman Reigns is not going to be on TV. CM Punk is going to be there. So apart from that, I don't see either he feuds with CM Punk or he goes after Jay, because there is no other babyface. There is no like Samoa Joe or Kevin Owens that he can feud with. So I don't know what happens there. Apart from that, like I also don't really like, I forgot a lot of matches which happened on night 1. I really do. Like I remember the women's championship match, I've talked about it. Then also Jade and Naomi, I've talked about that. I've talked about El Grande versus Rey Phoenix. I've talked about New Day versus War Raiders. Then what else? What was the other match that was? I think apart from the main event, I don't remember the other matches that were left on the show. So going to the main event, I felt that the main event was probably the best match of all 3 nights, be it NXT Stand and Deliver, be it WrestleMania Night 1, be it WrestleMania 41 Night 2. Roman versus CM Punk versus, and dare I say, Roman was the best wrestler in the match. He was smooth, he was fast, he looked the best. Like he didn't look cluttered in any sequences at all. Like he looked like he knew when to do certain moves, he knew when to get the crowd into the match. Like certain spots that happened in the match, like him like flying over the barricade, and then him not doing the triple power bomb with Seth, but beating him up, saying that it's all been me, turning back the clock when he said that it's never been us, it's been me, and between the matches, like Seth like trying to manipulate Roman, like you, me, and Mox, like we know like CM Punk shouldn't be here and all that. CM Punk's entrance was really good with the fire burns and his like old CM Punk, new CM Punk. It did feel it went on a little bit too long. Then it started to feel cringe, but overall I liked it. Even though you kind of expected Seth to turn heel and like align with Punk, but I don't think anyone really thought that they would give like Seth that spot, like that he will like not only win the main event of WrestleMania, but like pin Roman Reigns and have Paul Heyman by his side. I do think even the people who thought that would happen, in the back of their mind they're like, are they really going to give Seth that spot? And they gave him that spot. Like in the end, like Paul Heyman really laid that low blow into Roman Reigns. Like CM Punk, he was kind of like murdered, like you made me do this, like crying over him and all. But with Roman, he was like, yeah, you deserve it. And Seth like gave the kiss on the chair, hit Roman with it, and then not only curb stop him, pinned him. So CM Punk has only been pinned once in his WWE run. He has like passed out to a submission once, which was against John Cena in Elimination Chamber. He has been eliminated by Logan Paul from the back, and he has been pinned one time by Drew McIntyre, that too at SummerSlam. Otherwise, he has not been pinned, and he has not been submitted. He has like passed out. So he has had a pretty good run. Like CM Punk was pretty emotional after the match, like saying like, I did it. Like he did it. He's a WrestleMania main eventer. Like Seth has finally like got the ball behind him. They got the ball. Like he said that he never got the ball from WWE because they didn't trust him, and rightfully so. Like you see that he doesn't have that it factor, but now he's gotten a chance to be like the number one heel. Because the thing is, John Cena is not going to be there every week. There are going to be some months that he will just not be there, and then Seth Rollins will be the main heel figure in the WWE. So Seth, you've got the ball, now run with it. Show everyone what you can do, because you also carried that Punk and Roman feud. Because there were many times where when all three of you were in there, it didn't kind of work, but we all felt like your reactions, your facial expressions, your promos have always worked. Your promo at SmackDown worked. So you have a chance to do something great with this. I hope you do it, and you have like Paul Heyman by your side, so it's going to be much easier for you also. So let's do this. And overall, like the match was just great. It did get a little bit too much with the kickouts, but I think the ending just kind of like washed that away. Even it didn't get too far with that, but it did get a little far with that. But this was a great match. Like I just can't say like much better things about it. Like it was just a great match. It was. And also, did I miss any match? I hope I didn't miss any match. I have talked about Jade, Naomi also. I have talked about all matches. I hope I don't miss a match. Then going on to night 2, like starting with the EO, Bianca and Rhea triple threat. Like that was just awesome. Like they showed that match should have probably main evented night 2. Like that could have main evented night 2. Like this was probably the peak of the show, but the peak that it was, they just worked smooth with each other. They went out there to prove a point that we deserve to main event a show, and they will main event a show in the future. I probably see one of the 2 nights of SummerSlam where probably one night will be main evented by the women, because Cardi B is hosting it also. Her connection with Bianca Belair, like you don't have like a female singer there and don't have like a women's main event any night of the show. So I do think that's probably gonna happen there also. And then this match was just like Io doing her stuff, Rhea doing her stuff, Bianca like playing into the heel reaction she was getting, and still doing wonderful stuff in the ring, like showing like bits see, like you can boo me all you want, but see what I did. Like even in the Roman match, like those table spots were great too. Then in this, like the ending, you kind of like saw that coming, because Io was leaning there, the camera did went there, but like Io winning, I was so relieved that Io won, because I thought that Rhea was gonna win. At some times I really thought, oh, Bianca is gonna win, because maybe they don't want Bianca to lose her like winning streak, which is not really true. But Io won. She did pin Bianca, but Io won, and her parents' reaction, them crying, hugging each other, was really cute, was really sweet. I'm glad Io won. This probably means that Rhea and Bianca are probably gonna feud, and I think probably Bianca is gonna turn fully heel eventually on Rhea, probably at Raw after Mania also. Maybe she attacks Rhea and turns fully heel. I do think they're gonna have a feud. I just hope that Now this triple thread, like these three women go on separate ways. Like Io should go to some other feud. Rhea and Bianca can be involved in each other, and it could be like a long term, like that Becky Bailey feud that happened a couple of years ago. It could be like that. Of course, when this feud ends, whoever wins that can go back into the title picture, but it should be after a few months. They shouldn't be seen anywhere near Io. I just want to see what is the feud that happens with Io. Like, I don't see anyone apart from like either Asuka returning, like one of the Damage Control members. I do see them facing Io because I don't see anyone else that can face Io for the title. I don't think there are many challengers there. And then, talking about the next match, Drew versus Damien. I don't know. When I was watching this match, my mind was going a little bit, array. So this was like a 3 out of 5 match, a 3.25 or 3.5. I don't know. I have to rewatch the match. But one thing that I had feeling after this match was it was a little bit slow, but it was a really good match, and both people sold it. Like Drew doing his like selfie in between the match, like Drew really selling the moves where he also lands on his back, like him doing that future shock. Like Damien really laid into him with those chair shots. It felt like Drew was laying into Damien, but he was also like being a little bit careful because he was stopping a little bit before hitting him with the steel steps or with the chairs. But Damien laid into him because Drew was like bleeding a little bit from his back. Then also that like that chair, like that table spot, like when Damien was going for the the dead man thing. I It didn't even come into my mind that the two tables were out there, the table spot was gonna happen. I just thought that he's gonna give him his like normal, like the move that he does from the ropes, but Drew pushed him, and the ending was brutal too, like a claymore on like the chair stuck between the turnbuckles. It was really good. I'm so glad Drew won because I was thinking Damien may win. Both had really cool entrances. Also, it shows that Damien maybe he's treated more of as a star than he like is, but he is good in his role. Maybe he's not like great, but he is good, and he showed it in this match. And I'm glad Drew won. I just hope they continue this momentum. Drew needed this, like losing to both of the Usos, not getting that Roman match, getting eliminated from the Royal Rumble unceremoniously, getting eliminated from Elimination Chamber. Like he deserves this. I'm glad, and he got a good match out of it. Like people were cheering for Drew also. Like he showed that why he should be belted up, like why I don't mind him taking the world championship from someone like a Jay. Like I do think probably what's gonna happen is Cody is gonna go into a feud with Drew. I do think that's what's gonna probably happen, and I think Drew is probably gonna win that because you kind of want to like tell the story of Cody promising that he would keep the title with the WWE fans, with the universe, but him not fulfilling that promise, and then Drew kind of exploiting his like troubled state, like getting better of him. And I do think Drew will win that. I just don't know what the long goal is with Drew because it kind of feels like both the title pictures are kind of like locked in for what's going to happen with them in the next, like for the upcoming part of the year. I just don't know who Drew goes with because I do think Seth is probably going to get involved in that Jey Uso title picture later, probably at SummerSlam. I do think them having Logan beat AJ, like that match was, first of all, that match was boring. Why are you having Logan Paul matches be slow building up matches? Logan Paul is not good at in-ring psychology. He is not good at building up a match. We saw that with Rey Mysterio on Raw. Like he couldn't get a good match out of Rey Mysterio when he called it in the ring with him. He has not learned in-ring psychology. He needs to rehearse his matches. If you want to bring the best out of Logan Paul, get your money's worth with him, just have his matches be spot fest. And why didn't you have a spot fest with AJ? Like you have the best wrestler to have a spot fest. Like he can have a spot fest with you, and you can still come out of that match not being injury prone or not feeling too banged up. Like AJ can do that. Why would you do this? Like the loudest cheer in the match was for Karrion Kross, and this probably means that Karrion is going to feud with AJ because Karrion was trying to give him the, the brass knucks because he wanted AJ to finish the job with Logan because he thinks Logan is a cancer to the industry, but AJ didn't do it, and Logan won the match. It's just that because I do think probably the plan is they're gonna have like an AJ is at the end of his career, wheels running out storyline, because that was kind of indicated in the video package too. Like kudos to WWE editors, they made that dog shit build of an AJ Logan feud look into like a godly video package between Battle of the Titans. So I do think that is what's gonna happen. Like Karrion Kross and AJ are probably gonna have a feud where it's like, Karrion Kross saying that you should have done this, why didn't you do it, and then saying that AJ, you are washed, you lost to AJ, you lost Logan, you are at the end of your career. And I do think Karrion is probably gonna get the W in the future, and AJ is probably like they're gonna do the storyline they're gonna do on SmackDown when he returns. Just do it with like different characters. And I think Logan has won because he's probably gonna challenge Jay at Backlash. Otherwise, I don't see why Logan, because I like Jay doesn't. They're probably gonna keep Jay as champion for a while, because I don't think they're gonna immediately put Seth in that title picture. They don't want to show that they did all that to make Jay champion and then not have him lose in just like a month. They're not gonna like repeat the Intercontinental title stuff with him. I do think they're gonna give Jay the opportunity to show that you show us that you can be a main event. And it's just that please don't let Logan and Jay be this. Just say, go out there and do your spot fest. That's what you're best at. No need to Logan working over the baby face, Jay doing a comeback stuff. Please don't do that, please. And Logan, that novelty factor is off now. Like nobody's like going to, oh, Logan is having a wrestling match. Nobody is doing that anymore. So they have to do stuff to make his character more interesting. People think that I'm not even going to talk about go away heat. He only gets heat when it's like cheap heat. He has to add more depth into his character and tell him to be himself. Don't tell him, oh, you be a typical wrestling character. If he is being himself, that's enough. He doesn't need to do anything else. That should be the plan. I just don't know who Seth is gonna feud with, because I think probably Sammy, because Sammy will eventually come back, and I do think it is kind of like good, like 2 months off after Rumble is like a good period of him selling the next stuff. And Sammy can come back and be like, what are you doing with Paul Heyman, like I've been with him, like all the bloodline stuff. They can also link that with them also. And also with Roman, I would say, like right now the tribal chief character has to go away. Like he has to now go on like a true redemption story, truly ask for forgiveness from Jay and his bloodline, like truly become a good guy again. And Rock, please do your Cody and Roman matches and fuck off from the show. Like you ruin everything. You ruined the main event, which I will talk about later. Then also you had like the fatal four way, which was good. I missed a little bit of the middle of the match because my Netflix was a little bit on off. And then I do think he has to go through a redemption storyline also, and I do think, I just don't know how they get to that, but Sammy has to win the Royal Rumble, and he has to like beat either Seth or Drew at WrestleMania next year for the World Heavyweight Championship. It makes sense because the Royal Rumble is going to be in Saudi Arabia. CM Punk, I don't know what he's going to do. I do think eventually, maybe at Money in the Bank, he's going to have a match with John Cena, which he's probably going to lose, and I do think probably SummerSlam or maybe after that, probably the main goal is to like get like one another CM Punk versus Rollins match, and to get like one CM Punk versus Roman Reigns match. And I think eventually, I do think next WrestleMania we're probably gonna have CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes in the night 2 main event of WrestleMania, with CM Punk winning the WWE title from Cody Rhodes. I do think that's what's gonna happen because I think Cody is probably gonna retire Cena, win the title back in December, and probably CM Punk is gonna win the Elimination Chamber and win the title. Apart from that, also, Damien Priest, I don't know what you do with him right now. I think probably like maybe put him in the mid card title stuff, but do you really want Dominic to have like one of his first feuds with uh, Damian Priest, like going back to the Judgment Day stuff? I think it's probably gonna be like Braun is gonna try to get his title back. I think Finn is gonna get involved into two. The Fatal Four Ways was like good. I'm not gonna call it great because it was good. I missed some of the match. I saw like the Carlito spot. Like the ending also was really good. It was kind of like the same stuff which happened in the first match also, but it was good. Like when he hit the splash, I was like, are they really gonna do it? Because I thought, oh no, Finn is gonna win. No, but Dominic hit the splash. He won and the crowd went wild. And the second time when they had, like Dominic came back to the ring, and I also went wild. I was like, yeah, because I saw like this man has evolved his character so much. He's at another level. He is great in the ring. Also, this guy is money. That's why I had the reaction because like this guy deserves it. He will be like a great star and his reign will be great too. I have seen his matches with Dragon Lee when he was North American champion. He will be great. Then, then also you had the women's tag, which was a nothing match. I really liked that like Becky returned. I think this is probably gonna lead into. I think whenever Bailey comes back, maybe she reveals that Becky attacked her, but it's also like you're literally like maybe doing like the same storyline that like Jade and Naomi had, but maybe Bailey returns and she turns heel on like Lyra and Becky, and maybe that kind of like scuffle results in Liv winning the IC title, because I do think eventually that's gonna happen, and I do think the mid card, the IC title mid card is probably gonna revolve around Liv, Lyra, Becky, and Bailey. I do think for the rest like 6-7 months that is what you're gonna get right now. This tag stuff, I think it's gonna be like temporarily, maybe like a month or two, and then you're gonna get that. I do think probably Becky and Lyra will probably lose to like maybe like an NXT tag team, or maybe they'll build some tag team on the main roster. But who are the other tag teams that they can like build face teams? Maybe like Casey and Katana, but they have to do a lot of stuff with them to build them up. Then also I hope that they really like in the month or two they really build that Bailey and Becky and Lyra relationship also, because Lyra is getting over. We can say that she doesn't have a character, but the way that they have booked her, like they know the strengths, they do not give her that much mic time. They just have her be a fighting champion who is like a white meat baby face and defend her title in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and she has done well and she's gotten good. I just hope they could have given more time to the match, because if they had given time to the match, it wouldn't have hurt the Cena versus Cody match. It was not like if they would have gotten 5-10 minutes, like Cena and Cody has to go like this many minutes less. I don't think that. So they could have given because these four could have had like a killer match also. But okay, Becky returned, they won the titles. That was fine. I think the show kind of fell off after the Dominic match, and I was really sad because the show was really like turning out to be like an all timer, but it fell to a boring end because of the AJ Logan match. I kind of like my eyes kind of like went out because I was like getting a little bit sleepy, and it affected my enjoyment of the show because I was getting a little bit sleepy during the Cena Cody match also. Going to Cena versus Cody match, Cena had like a simplistic entrance and it suited him. Cody had like a motorbike type entrance. I liked it, except from the skull mask. And Cody really tried to do a lot of stuff in the match. I think they really didn't call in audible, because then the finish won't have made sense. Travis Scott coming out, if they like audibly decided that Cody, you go heel and I go face like Hogan and Rock did. So they didn't do that. Also, like Cena really didn't put any effort into the match. It some of it was purposeful because I hate wrestling and stuff. I don't need to wrestle, but some of it just felt like, yeah, Cena is just not at his prime anymore. He just can't move at that speed. He can't do those moves anymore. Meanwhile, you have like Cody, like trying his best to do stuff. It's just that the crowd was not on his side, and I don't think they expected that. I because in the reactions upcoming to the through the match, like crowds did go against him, but he got them back. They were either like split or like they went against him one time, but he got them back. So I don't think they really expected that, and that like really it ruined the match also, because it was like you were not really able to get into the match also, because the way the crowd was reacting, it was really distracting. Sometimes they went silent, sometimes they were cheering, sometimes they were booing. And the match, when you thought that okay, some spots which happened was like, yeah, okay, the match is getting interesting. Also, like they're doing too many finisher kickouts. I do think the way that the producers have structured some of the matches, they're going into cheap pops. Like do finisher kickouts because that is the easy thing to do, rather than putting together a great match. They have to fix that. And then also you had, where Travis Scott interfered. That is fine. Travis Scott interfering is fine if it is one of the many interferences that happened. I thought that this is going to give lead into like 10-15 minutes, like last stretch of the match, where they'll do like crazy moves and stuff. They'll move like crazy. Then maybe The Rock will come out, maybe Seth will come out. But none of that happened. Travis Scott came out. He walked very slow to the ring. Then he tried to fight Cody, but like the crowd was silent. Like this should have been a big moment. Like if you had it in front of any other crowd, it would have been a big moment, because you saw what Travis Scott did to him, but the crowd just went silent, so it felt awkward. Cody hit him with like a good crossroads. Then John Cena hit him with the title. He didn't even hit him with the AA, and it ended in a pin, which I didn't think it would, because ref took his time, and I was like, okay. Overall, it really doesn't matter to the mainstream audience, because the mainstream audience is just gonna say John Cena 17, but title reign just ended. Like Cody went against the bloodline with the help of every other babyface on the roster. But here, no one came out to help him. He lost to Travis Scott. It's just over now. I do think what's probably going to happen with many of the stars is, I think Gunther is probably going to take a break. He's going to come back when Goldberg returns for the Saudi show, defeat him, and then rejuvenate his career as a heel. I think with Cody, he's probably going to feud with Drew. Cena, I think, is probably going to feud with Randy. Talking about Randy, I felt a little bit down. Joe Henry came out. I was like, fine. After the show, I'm actually enjoying it much more. But between the show, I was like, because I was like really anxious, and I had like built up myself that it is going to be like something really important, which in the end it wasn't. Which it kind of makes sense, because if you had Aleister Black or Rusev, like Randy wasn't going to lose. Like it was his 20th anniversary. He has lost a lot. Like in his feud against KO, he was supposed to win. You're not gonna. He lost to Drew also, so you're not gonna give Randy a loss at WrestleMania, probably to a returning superstar. So they did like the best thing. They had the TNA World Champion. I kind of felt bad that the match was like too short, and also it kind of felt like he buried him. But the thing is, the things that they gave to the TNA World Champion was much bigger, because TNA is not really that big of a promotion, and they gave them a lot. Like Joe Henry got like the reaction like many people do not get on the main roster. Like when that contract is expiring, he's gonna come to WWE. Like he did his poses and all. That was funny when he was doing his pose. He got hit with the RKO. Randy did his pose after the match. I think I would have liked if Randy didn't hit like the RKO after the match. If they had ended at just like this, and maybe like Randy had hit the RKO on some like other person. But it was good. Like he got his spotlight, and I think this is probably gonna help TNA a lot and help his career a lot also. Randy got his win. I am just like thinking that how are we going to go from Randy having fun beating like Joe Henry, the internet meme sensation, at WrestleMania 2, like serious Randy becoming number one contender and facing John Cena in St. Missouri at Backlash. And what is their match going to be? Like, we're going to have a watch Cena with like a fun loving Orton, which can have great matches. But we're gonna get Headlock City for 15 minutes. They're gonna aura farm, and mainstream audiences are gonna like it because they don't watch wrestling at all. And also the main event, I have talked about it. I have nothing else to say. Overall, a 6 out of 10, 5.55, 6 out of 10 show for me. The thing with it is that Raw and SmackDown are really filled. Like tomorrow, you're gonna have John Cena come out and probably gonna reveal an ugly belt. You're gonna have stuff with him. You're gonna have stuff with Jay also. So it's probably gonna be much more important than what last year's was. It was just like a victory march. SmackDown gonna have the TLC tag match also, and they're probably gonna have stuff with Randy, and probably Cody and Cena probably both are going to be on that show also. So things are packed up. I'm just now ready to go past this. Like, I'm finally ready that we go back to regular programming. Like Triple H, please do better. He's not really that great of a booker, but he's better. He could have been better if The Rock just didn't randomly show up, do stuff, and went away. He was like a central figure of the storyline, and he didn't bother showing up after Elimination Chamber once or even at WrestleMania. Do that Rock Roman match, do the Rock Cody match, and go away. Like, you're ruining a lot of the main event. Like, because of you, the card has been uprooted a lot of times. Do that and go away. I'm glad. Like, probably the next few months is gonna be quiet because The Rock is gonna maybe show up in like September, August. यही है मेरा मतलब कहना. तो so that was my review of WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. So what did you think about the show? Tell me in the comments, and if you like this type of review, like this video, share and subscribe. If you don't, then share it with those who do. My social media accounts links, which are my Twitter/X account link, and my social media account links are in, and my UPI ID link is in the comment section below. Go follow me on my social media account links and go donate on my UPI ID link, which is shampoo@okcici. Donate on it any amount of money which you can, which can help me make YouTube a permanent career option. So that was it for me for right now. So thank you, goodbye, alvida.